Hi, my name is Alicia Davis, and I am doing my video, and we're going to talk about sovereign nations within the US. Um, what having a sovereign nation means, both politically and culturally for a tribe, is that the tribe will have their own freedoms, their own laws. Everything with them is independent. They can have their own laws, regulations, and only be a few miles apart. There can be different rights, their own government, their own structure. And so, depending on the tribe and on the area, there is a wide range of what that looks like. I live in Marysville, so I live really close to Tulalip. My kid is actually going to school on Tulalip, and so the way that they are structured is they have their own government, their own police. For the job I'm applying for, which I hope I get, they partner with Snohomish County. I think they're still in Snohomish County, but it is a sovereign nation. So they have a mental health court and a drug court, and they have independent funding. They also have programs like Boys and Girls Club, but everything is independently funded because Tulalip has a casino. And so tribes are able to make their own money and decide how they want their tribe to be ran. So some have resorts and casinos. That one seems to be really well known. Other ones will put up infrastructure that people have to use, like a bridge or a roadway, so they can make a toll or get money that way. Or even like a 5G tower, just something that brings in money. And some tribes make no money and have no development out there, and that is their choice to keep their land pure and natural and separated. So it just depends on the tribe's values. Also, the tribe is able to decide if there is like a blood quantum or not. I think that part of the issue with this is like for legally is recognition of treaty rights, natural resources, and the way that tribes are able to determine education, health programs, and policies. So we see this often. I'm just going to talk about Marysville and Tulalip because that is what I deal with on a daily basis. My kids are in Marysville School District, and Marysville School District has a partnership with Tulalip. So Tulalip does not have enough infrastructure to do enough with their people. So they wanted a little bit of support outside of their land. So they give additional money to Marysville. And so they develop roads, all of that beautiful concrete work, roads, lights. That's the tribe paying for it. And in trade, they're able to get services. But Snohomish County sheriffs, police have to respect their rights, since it is basically a different country. So when I go back to braiding sweetgrass, when we a good example was talking about native knowledge and relationships with the land. We kind of talked about that, and about the value in what what land has, and what we can take and give, and how we can live in harmony. And I think what a lot of indigenous cultures talk about is the creator. And there are different stories, like creation stories. I think we touched on it a little bit, talking about Three Sisters. I grew up with that one. And I love that example. I'm just going to go with Three Sisters because if you just plant squash, it grows like crazy, it spreads, it kind of ruins the soil, it kills grass, it kills other stuff around it, and you get powder mold. And if you just plant corn, it leaches all the nutrients out of the soil, and you can't plant anything without, you need like a lot of manure and stuff to like redo it. And so what I was taught is you put a dead fish in there too, in the dirt, and then it makes the dirt good again. It's that you're redoing everything, compost. And then the last one, for the beans, if they don't have anywhere to grow, they stunt and they fall over and they snap. But when you plant all three of those together, which isn't common for Western farming, but with indigenous farming, you put everything together. And so the corn stalk goes like this, and the squash wraps all around and goes wide, and it shades the beans and the decomp of the squash and beans, like going back into the soil. It makes it so it's not so drained from the corn. So it's like very much harmony. And I think that so much of indigenous culture is like finding ways that you can be one with the earth and more natural. I know that my grandfather was very into different treatments, like foods, plants. He loved plants. He passed that on to me. I have a big garden at my house, and the way that for my tribe, the way that we believe is like you're supposed to eat what is in your area at that time, because that's what your body needs. And so that's what I was taught growing up. And so when you're in harmony with the world, you eat what's next to you. So we should be eating like strawberries and cherries and stuff right now, and then coming up we're going to be eating like squash, and so that is what makes your body whole. And so in this area you're supposed to eat deer and salmon and different seafood, and that's what you need. And so if you're low on vitamin D because there's not sun here, you'll get vitamin D and like nutrients from other things. And so I thought that was a wives' tale growing up. But also when you look at it on a big picture, it's like we're in Washington, maybe getting a mango or pineapples or whatever tropical delicious fruit. And I do eat stuff like that too. But that's not in harmony with the planet, because in harmony with the planet, would it have giant barges going all over the world? Like I was at Costco and I saw all these oranges that are like imported from somewhere really far away and grown here. So it's like just all this transportation, all this gas, all this water being pumped into like creating other lands and making them into farmlands, when you should just be eating what's close to you. You should be trading locally. You should be preparing your food that you get in the summer and preserving it and saving it and drying out your fish and getting ready for the other seasons, because that's what is going to be the best for your body, is the food that's there. And so I think that America is so focused on consumption. And I mean, I am definitely consumed by capitalism. I look at, just how many shoes I have. And I don't even care. I'm not even like a shoe person, but just like, it's just too many, I would say that I'm not like how many t-shirts or how much stuff we go through, instead of repairing it. And it's more than living in abundance. It's living in excess, and it's creating waste, and it's not good for the planet, and it's not good for our souls. And so I look back on my grandfather was very old. He was on the DAWs, so he's old. He had my dad almost 50, and then my dad had me at almost 40. So he was born in the early 1900s. And so I don't remember much of him. He died when I was pretty young, but for some of the things that he would talk about, he grew up on the res. And so there's so much of like, you just take what you need. And here, let's talk about like COVID. People are panicking instead of like caring for your neighbors. It's like hoarding toilet paper, freaking out about making sure you have enough. And we have enough stuff. There's enough stuff for everyone. People have so much stuff that it's going to waste. Yeah. And I think that getting ties to our ancestral lands and finding out like what that means is is good for all of us. And so I think that the beauty in Indigenous cultures and being at one with the planet is very unique. That was my presentation. Thank you.